Hi everybody, this is Black Runner Ranger doing yet another commentary. Him posting this, and by the time I recorded this, I was in England, but by the time I posted this, I'm back in Malaysia. But for this occasion, I was originally going to record this while in Malaysia, but I feel like screw it, I'm just going to go all in. So for this occasion, it's the first chapter of my future series, Sky Wars, the Holiday Setup. And it features, and according to this, and Black Rhino Ranger presents a fan animated film based on a video game series by Activision Toys and Vicarious Visions. The opening is based on Star Wars, by the way, famous soap opera series by George Lucas. And a film featuring Nickelodeons created by Chris Savino. Oh, a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. Actually, it's not that far. It takes place on Earth. And and then suddenly the audio's cut off because there was a bit of a copyright thing. In fact, the reason why I did this is because I actually have used the actual Star Wars song on some of my projects before, like my Spore Wars series. But I have to keep getting copyright claimed and taken down because I kept getting strikes on the claimings and stuff. So this was basically to poke fun of my usage of it. And the song I used is a disco-ish version of the Star Wars theme song that was played in the Lego Star Wars video game. I will say I did make a bit of an typing error on that part. It could arrive at any moment. Well, we all know it's not going to happen, right? I've been wanting to do a Skylanders Star Wars parody for a very long time, since back in 2012. I mean, I had so many ideas for what I could do for a Star Wars parody. And parody the original trilogy and the prequel trilogy. Oh look, there's there's Red, Nasty Nork, and the Sorceress. And here are the Loud House sisters. And Trigger Happy was like, now you're probably wondering why the Loud Sisters here. Let's just say I needed somebody to be the Portal Masters for this occasion. Since, I think the idea of having some human Portal Masters within Nix's Skylanders, I think I got that idea from Ring of Heroes. Since the Portal Masters are usually human, or at least human-like. Are there any space Portal Masters? The Infinity Gauntlet, the Elemental Gems, and there's the Vault. There's some more painting parodies at the background. There's one I think is based on Raphael's Angels. Those are the Portal Master wrist devices. And Trigger Happy's commenting about since our game hasn't been published in a while, there's no need for these things. Then suddenly he's like, Spyro's like, I sense a disturbance in the Force, but it'll probably shake off, so that's the disturbance. Deja vu. Ooh, I don't mean the Skylander. I mean, the characters always keep eating the fridge. Gotta put a lock on this thing. So let's go to the Palace books and see which place we're going to. So this one, like my Double Dragon Decade animation, this took me a whopping 2 years to release it all, separate into 3 parts and have it release. There's another one I need to get to, and I need to finish it as soon as possible. And it's my it's my Christmas Redux animation, which was to celebrate the 10th anniversary of my first full Skylanders animation, the Skylanders Christmas one. Fast Food Forest, Skylanders Adventure to Forest Fire, Wonders of the Edible World, Skylanders bad because they didn't like Malay food. It's an unpopular opinion, I'm not a gigantic fan of Malay food. I mean, I used to enjoy myself a good kaya spread on toast, and I used to have roti canai and things. But as I got older, due to my ulcerative colitis, I've been straying far away from Malay food and for a bit. Take a little bit of satay every once in a while, but I'm more into American or British food that's mostly plain meat, like steak or even Australian food. Like they say, like some steak, some lamb, some chicken boy, and etc. Occasionally, I will take a bit of fast food like a McDonald's burger or some KFC, but aside from that, I'm trying to make sure I don't eat too many carbohydrates. And honkers, wanted for harassing young waiters. Take a guess what that's a reference to. And what about that one? And it says Lynn Loud Sr. at the best dang food restaurant in all of our world, Wings Table, the restaurant. There's also Dingo's Diner. You can see with the star ratings, you can tell which one is the best. Joe Grunt, on the other hand, is very skeptical of the idea of eating at the place. He was wondering where to go from. The last time he went there, wait, it's shaking. I suppose you know what that means. Best place, approved by Danny Antonucci, the same guy who made this guy. And admittedly, I cheated a little bit. I actually did trace over Ed Pass It On two times to give that shaking effect. Should have used the real turkey, Ed. So the trigger. So it's like I don't think so. Given how many Skylanders there are, they'll probably not be able to fit them all into one restaurant. So Trigger Happy have devised a plan: bring in the core Skylanders to the restaurant and bring the rest back for the others. Well, core Skylanders plus one extra. Chaos. Should we trust him? Well, he betrayed us so many times. Yeah, in fact, he used to be... We thought he was reformed in Trap Team, but then he became bad again. We thought he was reformed in Superchargers, but then he became bad again, and then he became imprisoned. Well, looks like his behavior has been great ever since we didn't have any new games, so... Let's go. Yeah, there's Sunshine, the scrapped Skylander. Add. Add. Oh, wait. Oh, no. Okay, there's Lynn's table. I actually did trace over the actual Loud House episode that features Lynn's table. I wanted to be as authentic as I can. Yeah, because it took me quite a while because of how much detailing is. No wonder each episode of the Loud House took 10 months to make for just 10 minutes of animation. I mean, Family Guy's episodes take about 6 months to be animated. I in one of my previous episodes, Potions 11, I had the Transformers versions of the Supercharger vehicles. So how about the lasagna? Well, it's not Monday, and there are no cats around. I've heard that. Trigger Happy is just staring at somebody. At the oldest of the sisters, Lori. So he gives him a virtual girl viewer, show them the girl of your dreams. So I have him. There is a deleted version of that, but I'm not sure if I'm able to show it because of YouTube's policies. I can only make an implication what it looks like. The Patreon version is available. The deleted scene is available on Patreon, in case you're wondering. And apparently it says, and according to Trigger Happy, says, it doesn't work for girls if they wear it. But when Starstar wore it, it worked for her, and it didn't work for Jetvac. Take a guess why. Let's see. We got Fling Kong and Bash admiring Luna and Luan because of their comedy and their music. Now, I will say, the voice actress who played almost all the Loud Sisters they didn't record all the lines I provided, so I had to improvise and mix a bit with whatever I could find. Because even though some of the lines were in the script, not all of them were fully recorded. So I had to work with whatever I could. So here's Lenny. She's my favorite. Bit of a mega meat platter. Wise choice, Lenny. Wise choice. Lenny L. Shark. Lenny, isn't that the name of a shark's name? So then there's Smolder there. She's just looking at them. Did you know that some of the Skylanders voice actresses also had a role playing as the Louds? In fact, one idea was to have some of the Skylander girls also share some of the Loud House voice actresses, some of the Loud voices, as a reference to some of the Loud House and Skylanders voice actresses sharing roles, like Nika Futterman. She plays Nightfall in Skylanders and Luna Loud of the Loud House. Grey Delisle, she plays Smolderdash, Beachcomber, and Mesmeralda in the games. Ninjini, Chill, and Sprocket in Skylanders Academy, and Lola, Lana, and Lily in the Loud House. And there was even in the Academy show, Rollerball is voiced by Jill Telly, who is also the voice of the Loud mother, Rita. So Pop Viz is just being his energetic self as always. Now in the Loud House, it's mostly just their mouths move. Their chins don't move, nor their heads shaking a bit. But just to keep things like they look like they're fidgeting a bit, make sure there's a little bit more movement, I always redraw the heads for lip syncing. I don't just redraw the mouths. It looks like they had a wonderful feast. It was quite delicious, I must say. So it looks like let's order for seconds. But Laurie says there's nothing left. You literally ate everything. Here's a song reference from Luna, just to keep in her character that she's often a song referencer. She doesn't do that much in the show anymore. She rarely makes a reference to other people's songs. You know her. She's often brings up a random song, like whenever she's hungry, she's like, "Dudes, I'm like hungry like the wolf," or it's not just rock and roll songs like "Carry On My Wayward Sons," or trying to think, you're an owner of a lonely heart. She doesn't just reference rock and roll. She also references other pop music, like "Oops, Dad, you did it again." There's even in the comics she references Elvis Presley's "Devil in Disguise" and IO. Since the Skylanders have no money, so why don't we just use an IOU? Or how about a Goldling and a Gem Dragon? So what happened to our wallets? The Skylanders wallet vault, they're all stacked up. To be continued. Let's go to... Okay, it's an ad. Let's go on to the next part. Before you watch this video, I recommend seeing part 1 first. Link is into the description. When I realized it was another long part, I was like, oh geez, I better separate it into 2-parter as well. Because I'll be paying for this. It's the Rhino in the Iron Armor. He's back. And he's got $100 million in one note. Heard it's the best one, but because you ate everything, I couldn't even try a sampling. I hope to try something special today. Say, well, this should cover for everything. But then the Skylanders, they start to feel a bit bad. Time consuming, but I'm patient. Have you figured out who Rhino in the Iron Armor is? Have you guessed it who it is? I still won't reveal who it is until much later at the date. Either when I fully completed Skywars, or if I decide to completely quit and make some shorten everything and stuff. And when I decide I'm fed up. But I doubt that's gonna happen. So the Skylanders start to clean up, and just to make sure things. Cinder summons her ghosts, just like in her Soul Gem. They do all the cleaning up. Oh, Slobbertooth does the unthinkable. Camo grows old plants. It's like spinach. There's a bit of spinach. There's all the let's see if I recognize any of the characters here. You see, we got Cow from Cow and Chicken, we got Shaun the Sheep, and we also got Chicken. And there's Red Feather, a scrapped character from Pocahontas. There's Waddles from Gravity Falls, there's Anchovy from SpongeBob, and there's Howard the Duck from Marvel. Now, fun fact, I believe Chris Savino used to work on Cow and Chicken at one point. Heck, I remember reading the comics, there was a cow cameo. Anyways, Double Troubles just cloned them. No harm done for the animals. Nope, he cut an onion. Sunburns heated up the pot, and looks like to grill a Peking duck. So he lips it. Looks like he ordered the special of the day. But everybody is like, ooh. Why didn't we order that earlier? We're ordering seconds. We can always try some back. Can I eat in private, please? 1 hour later, everybody's all packed up. See, we can see Lynn here, Spyro there, Rhino in the Iron Armor there. We got Lenny there. Hey, High Volt has got that meat rib thing from the Flintstones. Rhino's carrying a lot of pizza. It was reused from my Skylanders Attack on Turducken. Tucker Happy's got a little package there. Spitfire's also got a little package there. And there's on Rhino's bike, the vehicles. Elvid fell just like the Flintstones. I don't know if you could tell, but I shook Shroom Boom a little bit when carrying that package. It's hard to see, but it's there. And Chopper, he's just lowering the package into the thump truck with Smash It, keeping things in check. That's the last one. Well, Spyro, I must be off. I'd like to thank you and Lynn Sr. for this lovely restaurant experience. Once again, I had to include the subtitles because I had a feeling not a lot of people are going to understand what Rhino in the Iron Armor is saying. In case you're in trouble, I'm there for you. I actually got the subtitle idea from Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy, the Billy and Mandy's Big Boogie Adventure movie, where Billy, Bot, and Mandroid, when they speak, they got subtitles, so people can understand what they're saying. So then, Lynn, like, whew, that was a close one. So then Lenny picks up something. Something's not right. So Snapshot is angry that the Skylanders arrived late. Where were you? It's 2 hours ago. Also, fun fact: Snapshot's voice actor, he also did Cross Crow. He also voiced this Russian chef in the Loud House, where he speaks like in the Russianish type of voice. It's the same voice he used for Buttfrog from Star vs. the Forces of Evil. Eruptor, you've eaten before. Yep. You couldn't wait, Eruptor? So Chaos is wondering, why is he so heavy? Did they go straight to his thighs? At least it didn't blow up. Uh-oh. The stowaway. Uh-oh. And there's the lasagna. Elsewhere, Lainey is trying to feed Lily, but what's wrong? And Luna is like, uh-oh. Now, one particular moment when Lenny is like, Alex, I guess she's not hungry or something like that. And then Luna is like, when she realizes that's not Lynn, when she's like, somebody. Actually, Luna's like, where's Lily? Yeah, and Lenny's like, I think the last time I saw her, she was with the other guys. And then Luna was like, somebody hit me. And then Lynn punches her, and then she falls on the floor, and she says, maybe one more time. That was the original jab, but again, the dialogue was not fully recorded. Anyways, they're trying to figure out how to get Lily off of Chaos, so they try various methods. Now, the various methods to try and lift Lily was, originally was supposed to be for an animation I was planning to do, where it would be Trigger Happy's birthday, and everybody and he gives the Skylanders a bit of a challenge to try and pick up his guns. And kind of like Thor's hammer, nobody was able to pick up the guns. Only the worthy are able to pick up Trigger Happy's guns. And much of what I had in mind on pulling the guns, they're used in here. So Trigger Happy tries to lift Lily, but his arms... Right? Now, so Terrafin tries to budge it. She ain't budging. Cinder using that drill thing from the Clover episode. Wrecking Ball tries to... But there's a dynamite. Boom. And then his tongue is like... He's saying, "No more tasting funny." You can tell his tongue is a bit cut off a bit. So he tries to distract her with some food for the baby. Cheeriox tries to lift, but he collapsed. It's knocked her out. Dynamite tries to cut, but it cuts the entire floor instead. So Fat tries to suck it up, sucks up the background instead. And Spitfire tries to use that thing, the rope thing, kind of like in Thor with the hammer. Then he cries. "Did it work?" said Stanley. Not even tickling her solves anything. So Gilgren is wondering, what are we supposed to do? Uh-oh, we gotta do something before they're here. Oh, to be continued. Okay, forgot to include a little something over there. So, let's go to part 3. I used this particular logo because it reminded me a lot, this font, it reminds me a lot of the Loud House. So here's Lori. She's really, really miffed, let's say. So everybody's like, how did you find our house? I just checked on Lily's diaper. I don't see it. So Lori, she's got the strength of the Elder Gods. No mere mortal can lift it. Sorry, there's a bit of noise. Unless they're in worthy hands. Okay, so you're good to go. Before they can leave, Lori turns around and every Loud goes saying, "Is that a mermaid?" If you remember A Dark and Stormy Night, you know Lori's fascination with mermaids, or even that Games and Grub episode. She's got a mermaid girlfriend. There's that rhino picture from Portugal. Actually been to Portugal, and I actually have been to a tower that has that rhino sculpture and that painting. Lenny has a little lucky flower on. It's the lucky clover on her. Killer shoes. I bet they're gonna cut foot loose. And I think Rollerball did mention she was a bit of a disco dancer. And there's a picture of Spyro based on another painting. He's reading the universally representing asexuality is okay, completely. Uh-oh, not a good idea. I actually had this idea since I was a kid, where the character is either rubbing his hands so much that his hands suddenly caught on fire, then he runs around finding a tub, like a tank or something, pushes his hands in, and then the fish comes out to breathe. I had that idea since I was a kid. Got Nightfall and Luna just reading thing. There's that tsunami homage picture. So there's Lola admiring Luminous. Shucks. Giddy up, dinosaur, I'm a dragon. I think this one is based on the story Nart. Yeah, the dinosaurs. And then there's Lisa Loud. She's the only one voiced by me. The rest are voiced by either one or two girls. And there's Lincoln Loud with Spyro. So, are you a dragon? Yes. Now, keep in mind, the time period I have this in is sometime before the events of the Loud House movie and before the events of season 5. Like somewhere around season 3 or 4 after somewhere around season 4 after Lynn's table got open. So there's Red, Sorceress, and Nasty Nork all on the doorstep. You're probably wondering, where's Ripto? Didn't he burn to a crisp in my Double Dragon Decade? What I made here is a follow-up to Double Dragon Decade. So everybody's trying. So you see that painting at the background? That's based on Henri Rousseau's Sleeping Gypsy, with blackout and spotlight as the gypsy and the lion. Are any of you wondering why my old adversaries are at the doorstep? So Trigger Happy's gonna get the guns out. Wait, we got civilians. What do? We gotta get them to safety. Now, if you're wondering, fellas, I have written the other scripts for the other ones. I've also done their storyboarding, so I'm still working on the storyboarding for Luann's part of the journey. Over there is that Stealth Elf and Hex. They're based on a Frida painting, and in fact, Frida was the inspiration for the Casagrande's Ronnie Ann's aunt, Frida, who is a painter and a photographer. There's also those pictures. One of them is being torn. That's for making my species look bad, referencing how the Rhinox are representing evil rhinos. I wish that would die, because rhinos are critically endangered. We shouldn't see them as brutes or people we want to kill for their horns, thinking that their horns are a cure for cancer. This is why I prefer I like Beast Wars more than G1 Transformers. We got a Predacon Headstrong, but then again, we also have a cassette rhino named Ramhorn. But thankfully there's Rhinox, who was probably what kickstarted my interest in rhinos, and there's Clam from Camp Laszlo, but more often than not, the rhinos are often portrayed as villainous, like the guards of Sly Cooper, Rocksteady from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. That Stormy Rhino from James and the Giant Peach. I just wish we had more guys like the Rhino and the Red Bill. Heck, I even made Rhino and Dial, where I have Rhino as the main protagonist. And heck, my mascot is a rhinoceros. Anyways, we can see the Louds are playing board games, Snakes and Ladders. Lily is, sometimes I mix up their names. Lily is playing Jigsaws, and Lola and Lana are playing Moon Sand. And look, there's the portal wrist devices. There's Trigger Happy with the Gathering gun, and it looks like it's springing off from Nasty Nork. But then he gets tunneled on the ground. This idea was inspired by Swamp Thing. Sorry about that, fellas. The update interrupted my recording. So, continuing on. Red is like, I'm about to do something bad to you. Okay. So Spire. And then he says, you talk too much. The painting is based on Vincent van Gogh's flower design painting. Oh, it's a hypno chip. And it must be Ripto's last-ditch effort to evilize Spire. So from what I heard, Red is not really evil, but he has changed his ways in Shadow Legacy. So anyways, now I have not played Shadow Legacy, but I have done some research about it. So there's that. So the villains, looks like they've been defeated, so now what? Well, let's check back on the Louds. That's in the basement. What about those wrist portal devices? Uh-oh, there's an ad. So all the Louds are just trying out their Louds. So, the wrist portal master devices, they give the options of weaponry and shirts. So Lincoln is dressed up like Spyro, the magic elemental Skylander. Laurie is like just a regular mermaid. Now these costume choices, I actually came up with as many different outfit ideas for the Skylanders. Some of them are actually based on the Skylanders. I mean the Louds, but most of them. There's a Tinkerbell winged victory statue. Many of them voted on specific costumes. Like many people voted for Tough Luck for Lenny, Spyro for Lincoln, Cinder for Luna, and a custom mermaid option for Lori. Now for Luna's, I added in some patterns on her which represent the elemental symbols of Cinder in Dawn of the Dragon. And over here is all the other classic villains from Legend of Spyro and Skylanders, classic Spyro, and their way they're being presented is like from Skyland is like from Powerpuff Girls, the villain lineup with Mojo, him, Fuzzy Lumpkins, the Amiibo Boys, etc., shown in the intro. High Volt creates a shield to prevent the villains from coming in, but it's not going to hold them for long. What are we going to do? So the Louds come in. Is like, so what are we going to do? What about your dads? So the parents are like, Dad, we're staying on our new place all night. We'll be back soon. My friends are all grown up. And it's not going to hold them. So what are we going to do? I have an idea. Guys, is that what did we call the Rhino in the Iron Armor? Well, we could, but I have a better idea. So they opened this whole portal room. And what's inside the portal room? The portal of power. We haven't used it for a long time, since 2017, and Robo says I was the last one to use it. This is referencing to the fact that he was one of, if not the absolute last Skylander to ever be released. Unless you're counting Heartbreaker Buckshot, who still hasn't been released, and I don't think they're planning to, even though the files are definitely inside there and stuff. So the other Skylanders. And Lincoln's voice has deepened. This is referencing to the fact that since Lincoln is the only boy of the Loud sisters, he's also the only one voiced by an actual child. But for every child voice actor he had, they all grown up and hit puberty. So he has to be replaced by another. In fact, there's like I think he had like 5 or 6 or 7 voice actors in total. We have Grant Palmer, Colleen something, Tex Heyman, who's the son of Gray Griffin, the voice of Lola, Lana, and Lily. Mother and son voice brother and sister. And then later there's Bethany Griffin, and now we have a new voice actor. In fact, Asher Bishop did him in the Loud House movie, and Bethany Griffin did him in the video games. And now we have a new voice actor for Lincoln. And we're having a new Loud House movie as well, No Time to Spy. And because of that deep voice thingy, I had 2 different voice actors to play Lincoln. One who can sound young, but also sound like he hit puberty, and then and later be replaced by somebody else who sounds young. I might have to replace him with another voice actor for when I get to him, in case anybody hits puberty by then. So Eruptor's he got the elemental growth so quickly. What happened? It turns out the Volt is not that strong to resist Eruptor's body. So here's all the Louds again with the everybody's like ready to go. So everybody's like well, we can go to various places all over Skylands. For example, the Atlantis. It doesn't exist on Earth, but it does exist in Skyland. So here's everybody at Atlantis, and I based Atlantis on a Coliseum. I mean, like a Las Vegas, the casinos and stuff. Get those shells with the curls. There's some. I try to make sure the mermaids are based on as depicted in Gilgrunt and the Fishmaster, as well as Gilgrunt's mermaid girlfriend. And here's this mermaid. She's like, I love Atlantis, and she's got the #1 hat thingy from SpongeBob. Now you probably. Okay, here's a little hint who I based this character on. Let me do a little something which I will use later.
Hello, I'm King Neptune, Atlantean.
Take a guess what that's a reference to. And we got the trauma dang artist to make him like a certain boxer who looks like he's got the eye of the tiger. I also heard he's a, a shooter of some sort, and he made a guest appearance in the bloody fighting game. He might be your worst nightmare. And as a woman, I nearly slipped in that King in Neptune, the Spiral Hero's Tale villain, but then I remembered, I had her shown earlier. Is that a pliosaur rug? Some stick figure mermaids. I was too lazy to draw some of them. So they're probably wondering, since it's in Atlantis, how do we breathe underwater? He says, don't worry, there's a system where if you enter in, you are breathing underwater, but it looks like everybody else is floating around you. It'll make sense when we go to that part. There's a mermaid that looks like a lionfish. There's another mermaid that looks like an anglerfish. There's an archelon, which is like a giant sea turtle, prehistoric. And that fish is got the hots for that mermaid. And here are my characters, Rhino and Dell. And there's a guest appearance of Captain Cutler's ghost. Or it might be the Cyclops from SpongeBob. Who knows? Who's scarier, the Cyclops or Captain Cutler? So it'll make sense when we get there on the floating walking thing. So over here is Technopoly, a place with old technology and stuff. I actually based this idea from on a Spore game, on a Spore adventure I used to play. Spore Galactic Adventures. There's the tanks and the tech gear there. Now over here, small spoiler alert, she used to date Trigger Happy. I'll explain more about that when we get to the animation. And the Technopoly having going from a military company to a toy making company. That's a reference to a movie I used to watch a lot as a kid called Small Soldiers, where they do military stuff, but they also make stuff for kids. And they accidentally put military chips in some toys. There's a box where the little toys out. There's an explosive goo. There's that brain on the whirly thing. This is from the SpongeBob episode Whirly Brains. Nerf! The gun. And there's Rat Trap in his transmetal form from Beast Wars Season 2. Technopoly, a military company making toys. I can't see how that would backfire. So we got Eruptor saying that he's got an uncle who lives on his favorite place. His name is Krakatoa. This character is based on a misconception that this was a scrapped Skylander, or he was going to be in season 2 or a sequel to Imaginators, and he would be a fire brawler. But then turns out it was all fake. It was false. It was completely photoshopped. So then he puts down a tree thing, and there's that scary kite-like spirit thing called Vatu from The Legend of Korra. Eruptor, why are you flying that evil spirit as a kite? Is he? Yeah, only if you have... Can I hug him? Only if you have protective gear. Here. It's just more of a pimple with the icy thing. So Chop's place is in the 7 wonders of the undead world. And they're all based on the 7 wonders of the ancient world. The Hanging Gardens of Dangalon. It's like the Hanging Gardens of Babylon. Here's all the characters hanging. There's a spider, a monkey, the giant claw, and a boom fiend. And over here we got some other things hanging. Oof, this guy doesn't feel too good. And he's got a lot of blood in his head. And a skull hanging, a snake hanging, skeletons, and some old raggy coats. And I just realized this thing's like a giant crocodile. The Temple of Artemis, which is, I think it's like the Temple of Artemis, where, I'll explain more. Let's just say once you enter in, you've witnessed what your heart desires the most. Now here's the I think this is a Zeus's Temple of Zeus or something. in Temple of Snooze, which is kind of like from Hercules. So there's a little devil girl over there. There's a little impy creature thing. There's a there's a little spider warthog being. I'm not sure what he is. And over here, I think, is my interpretation of an amphisbaena. An amphisbaena is basically a snake-like being with two heads on each end. And who is that mystery guy entering our midst? Is he about to review this? Is he about to see this animation I made as an atrocity? Yeah. There's the Mausoleum of Monsters. It's like the Mausoleum of something. Yeah, man, it's got these all these monsters. Spoilers alert, each of them is based on a Scooby's All-Star Scooby-Doo 2 Monsters Unleashed villains. Like that Lumberjack Rabbit is, I got notes from the Minor 49er. The Raven Shadow is, I think it's like the Black Knight Ghost. Or is like, the 10,000 Volt Ghost. The Source Samurai, he's a Scorpion Samurai. I based him on the Black Knight Ghost. The Barf Vark, he's like the zombie. That skeletal llama guy is, I've forgotten his name, Skalama. He's based on Skullama, that's it. He's based on the Skeleton Man. The Captain Tunnelweb, who's like a giant robotic spider. Not only is he based on Captain Cutler, he's also based on Big Daddy of Bioshock. And then this guy, the snow monster, he's based on the Cotton Candy Glob. And he's also based on an elephant seal. And that sand monster from an episode of Aladdin. And the prince from Romeo and Juliet Sealed with a Kiss. Now that's the Colossus of Bones, like a giant statue of skeletons. The Lightning House of Alexandria. It's like this thing is an X-ray viewer, and he sees you, and well, one look at the one when he sees you, you're nothing but you're nothing but bones completely. And finally, the Leaning Tower of the Great Pyramid of Sneezer, not Giza, Sneezer. Once you enter in, you gotta cover yourself up. Not even the undead is immune to dust. So Terrafin explains that his place to go to is Thray, which is kind of like Thra, which you think is like Dark Crystal's Thra, but no, I call it Thray because it's kind of backwards for Earth, just minus the TH. And the sun is in the center of the planet, and land is inside. Like, here's a normal size being there, and a normal size being there. That's how the world is like. And here's the ants. They're digging. I reused this from my Multi-Maginite episode, digging for some things. There's some are spiders, some are ants, some are ant mimic spiders. And Terrafin used to befriend a guy named Ranch, who I will say who I plan to have as my substitute for Supercharger Terrafin. And Stealth Elf says that her world is like tiny to tiny, and where everything is when a whale is as small as a mouse, while a flea is as big as a 50-foot woman. And to the outsider, you can't breathe in because you're allergic. You get zits, you vomit or something like that. It's referencing Avatar's Pandora, where it's a poisonous atmosphere. You have to have some breathing stuff in order to withstand its atmosphere. Sometimes, if you're an Avatar person, a Navi, you have to. You can breathe in human oxygen for a good while, but you have to add in your Pandora oxygen as well. But the human one cannot breathe Pandora oxygen. And he got these protective suits to help with the cost. Jet Vex says he's going back to Sky Baron Academy, where he graduated before he became a Skylander. And this is the spirit of Bunt Lazuli. It's a bird, by the way, a type of bird. And his idol is Charles Wingbird. It's like Charles Lindbergh, the pilot of the 1920s, flying the spirit of St. Louis. I also got this idea from Buzz Lightyear Star Command with the Ranger Academy. PopFizz says to go back to Skylanders University, and I did put out a reminder that yes, I'm still working on it. And Blackout says he's gonna take them to a place where darkness is welcomed or something like that. And Spotlight goes to say something like El Dorado or something. Sol Dorado, that's it. So everybody is like ready. Why don't you just wear some sunglasses? All right, so Spyro assigns the Skyland the Louds to their rightful elements based on what they're wearing on their wrists. He said you're in charge of the gems. And so everybody gets a piece of the gem. Lenny's blushing with excitement. And nothing's gonna stand in my way. That's from Spectral General or Kick-Axe's song from the Transformers movie. Nothing's gonna stand in my way. Whoopee cushions. That's why I gave Luna the air element, because she likes whoopee cushions. Now I was originally gonna have Lori be an air, but I decided to make her water because of her love for mermaids, and Luann was originally going to be the water because she does some water pranks. Almost all the Louds are voiced by one girl except for Lucy and Lisa. Lucy's voiced by somebody else, while I provide the voice of Lisa.
I think I did a pretty good job trying to voice, doing Laura Jill Miller's type of voice. I think I might also try that for her other characters, like Juniper Lee or Libby.
And Lily, since she's the only one without a Portal Master wrist device, she has to be cared for by another. So Chaos has to do the honors. So it looks like Chaos has to take care of Lily. So I love this joke where Chaos is like, "You get to go home, Chaos," and Chaos is like, "Whee! Hooray!" It's a minute. What's the count? I always wanted to tell that joke. So it looks like Lily's in charge of the elemental gauntlet that's completely empty until we can find some. As long as she's in Chaos's castle, she's safe. I think. I fear with the other Louds it might be too dangerous. So Chaos is probably the safest they can think of. So here's some mixed. So Trigger Happy hands them out the Imaginites, extra Imaginites for every Loud. They get 3 each, as a reference to the fact that there was only 3 gems, 3 crystals for each element, with the exception of the life element that has an extra. Give that to Lily. If only we had a Chaos Elemental Crystal. All right, Louds. All right, Skylanders. Let's go. So here we got teleporting all the villains into Chaos's castle. Let me rewind that a little bit. Let's see. Let me just. Okay, let's rewind that a little bit. Okay, here's let's see who we got here. We got Chaos, his clone, Lily, Captain Frightbeer, Spell Slamser, Lord Stratosphere, Cluck, Glumshanks, Armor Chompy, the Dragon Hunter and the Scale Biter, Count Moneybone, Sheep Mage, Noodles, Cauliflower Kid, Captain Dreadbeard, Vathek, Oculus, Mesmerelder, the Sleep Dragon, and the Skylanders Academy version of Hydra. I forgot to include the Dream Sheep. And I added in a new character. I call him the K-Arpit. It's a flying carpet with Chaos's patterns. This is referencing to the fact that Aladdin's carpet actually made an appearance in Skylanders Academy in Season 3. So they all teleported into Chaos's. And there's the waters next, and then to Tiny, that must be Stealthell's foot, the life. And then there's a Ruptor's foot and Spiral's tapping, and now everybody's ready to go. May the Skylands be with you, and they teleport all the way to Skylanders University. And it's just the credits bit, but I have something else in the end. Now you're probably wondering, am I gonna get this done in time? I'm hoping to do it as soon as I can. I really hate it when I delay because some folks I know who helped me work on this, they can sometimes leave at any time, leave the internet. So I want to try and finish them as soon as I can, but of course real life events keep happening to me and stuff. They make it quite difficult for me to get to it. So then there's a shadow figure. Follow them, he says. You might recognize who he is, and heck, you might recognize the silhouettes of these particular villains. To be continued in future Sky Wars episodes. And that, my friends, is the holiday setup. The first of my Sky Wars series, and I've got plenty more others being planned in the future. This is only a taste of something big. And spoilers, fellas, if I finally decide this Sky Wars, the holiday setup, I think is going to be the big bang. Like, there's something to end my Skylanders career in the best way I can. Like I say, even though I love doing Skylanders, I know for a fact that I cannot keep doing this for long. I may or may not have to move on sooner or later. I want to focus on more original stuff. I've been working on this for about nearly 13 years. So if I'm finally going to stop with Skylanders and do something original, I think this will be the best way to end it all. And of course, I'll also do the Redux, the University, and the Skyny, and any other additional projects in the works, and then I'm completely finished. And by the way, in case you're wondering, why did I call it the holiday setup? Not only is it because it's based on Christmas and stuff, it's also based on the infamous holiday special of Star Wars. And the other future titles, each based on a different element, they're all based on the titles of other Star Wars films, like spoiler alert, the next one is the Chaos Wars, which is based on the Clone Wars, the animated one from 2008. And I have some more others coming. In fact, I got a little book that I'm going to give you guys a little bit of a taste of. I'm going to give you guys a little bit of a taste of what's one of the next ones. Not after Chaos Wars, but after a few others. Here's a little something for Sky Wars: A New Life, featuring Lenny Loud. This is them on that planet of Titiny stuff. I probably should have expanded that snail. Don't worry, it's just a storyboard, but here's a little taste of what you're going to see in the future. So yeah, fellas, that's my commentary on the holiday setup, and I plan to do more commentaries on Sky Wars, and I also do one on Skylanders University and Christmas Redux and Skyny once they are completed. Thank you for joining me, and sorry there was a bit of a hiccup in the middle. And thank you. I'll see you all in the last one of May. Hope you've enjoyed this video.